Welcome back to the episode 2 Who Lied to You podcast. My name is Jocelyn Kajumba, a neuropsychologist, together with my co-host
Flavia Rita Babige. I'm a stress and self-care coach.
Today, we are going to be talking about the constants in life that we've been told that have caused stress and trauma. Flavia, growing up, what are the constants that you've had, or rather been told, that have led to stress, probably trauma, later on in life?
I think growing up, I remember my father telling us, and something that I've also experienced as a person and as an economist. There's this one constant that has been in this world since time immemorial, and that is taxes. I remember my dad telling us a story back then that when they graduated, by the time they graduated, there's a new tax that had been introduced, and that was the graduated tax. That every man who was above a certain age was paying. So they used to look for them in their houses to pay the tax. To the extent that these men used to run away from their homes. They would get,
I read that story, yes.
So that is one constant that he told me, that ojja kufa nga musasudde omusolo. It is a given. But also we know that in the Bible, taxes existed. God said, Jesus said, pay your dues to Caesar as you ought to, and then your dues to God as you ought to. So there's that constant that has been there since time immemorial. But also the constant that reality has shocked me with is the fact that you have to think about what to eat every other single day. You know, back then when you used to be in our parents' houses, this is something you didn't think about. You knew that food would be provided. They would plan for you. They know that and they'll provide some meat. Today my children would eat beans. They know we don't have money. We shall have the, But then reality has set in, and I've realized that every morning I have to wake up and think about what I'm going to feed my children, my babies, right? You have people at home working for you. You have to think about what to eat, because sometimes the babies won't eat the same thing as the adults. So you have to figure out and say, now I have to buy porridge for these ones. Now I have to buy food for these ones. Now I have to do this. So that constant thing of knowing that every day for the rest of my life, I'm going to think about what to cook for dinner for my husband. I'm going to have to think about food for my people every other day of my life. For me, that was one thing that really blew me out in this adulthood. But as life is, or as life has been over the previous years, I've realized that there's a constant as well that has followed me around ever since about 10 years ago when I came out of school, and that is stress. Like we've said, that when you're still under your parents' care, this is something that they don't warn you about. They don't prepare you for. Something that doesn't even cross your mind that maybe one day I'll be on my own to figure out this life. So the one constant that has stuck by me now, 10 years down the road of doing life alone, has been stress. Every other day, you're going to encounter something that needs you to approach it with all the maturity that you have in you, that needs you to think of a solution, that needs you to provide solutions to people, that needs you to think out of the box and give a way forward. So for me, that has been a very, very big constant.
Well, thankfully, you are a stress and care coach. Is there a personal story that led you to become the Flavia that you are right now, one of the top stress and care coaches that we have in Uganda? Just putting that out there. But also, is there something deep that led you to become this person, but also that caused stress in your life?
Definitely. Sometimes when life is unfolding, you never know where it is going, but later on you join that dot looking backward.
Yes.
As Flavia, my life is very synonymous with stress, I should say. For the fact that I have a full-time job, I have children to cater to, I have a family and home to run, I have 2-3 businesses to run. It is a whole cake of stress, I should say. And one thing that really drew me in to become a stress care coach was the fact that I went through a bad burnout. In 2021, when I had just started business, I remember by then I had a job still. Then in the evening, I would go home, make products, prepare orders for clients, and then I would sleep maybe midnight. I would be up by 4, and then have to prepare for work, have to prepare orders I'm going to move into town, and all that. So that caused a certain cycle of stress. And I remember by then my baby was just what, about a year? Yes, my baby was about a year or 2. And so she still needed me.
Yeah.
So I was giving myself, yes, I was giving myself 110% to the business. And then I was giving myself maybe 70-80% at work. And I was giving myself to the family,
Yeah.
another 100%, And
You were drained.
I was really drained. I remember it took me about 9 months to recover from that burnout.
Oh, wow.
It took me about 9 severe months of recovery. And during that time, I remember I disliked all the things that I had loved before, including my baby, including my home, including my businesses that I'd actually invested so much of myself into. So I realized that there is this one constant. It's not exceptional to me.
Yeah.
I'm not the one going through stress. So I know a lot of women who are also juggling life the way I am. That you have a job, you have businesses, you probably have family, you have a husband, you have friends, a lot of things going on. So I know that it's a constant. All of us are going through it. All of us are going to go through it. So that is what brought me to become a stress and self-care coach, to just guide women and people through how to navigate stress in this life.
So, if your story resonates with Flavia, please let us know. Comment down below in the comments. Tell us your side of the story. Tell us what stresses you're battling with in the day-to-day life. But then some of us don't even know what stress is. So, Flavia, tell us what is stress?
So stress is a state of worry, stroke mental tension caused by a challenging situation, a challenging circumstance. You may be faced with a big challenge, probably at work or in your home, or you're going through a certain problem, a personal problem, and all. So you go through a phase of worry, you go through a phase of mental tension, and all this is termed as stress. But of course, stress as well, there are types to these things, right? So stress exists in 2 ways. There's something called acute stress. Acute stress is the short-term Acute stress is the short-term stress. So you only experience it for a short while and then it is gone. That can be probably a deadline at work to get work done, a certain task at work. Traffic jam. Most of us in the morning when you're rushing to school, taking the kids, you have to show up at work by 8:30.
Yes.
There will be some stress when you find traffic jam, right? And so that is also short-term stress. Then short-term stress can also be having, maybe you've had an argument with a loved one. Maybe you're not talking. Murimuru sirika. That can also be stress, right? It can cause you some tension and worry in your body. And then maybe sickness. Sickness can also cause you a bit of stress. You're worried about this and that and that. The bills to pay, these bills are accruing every month. So that can also be a reason for that short-term stress. However, we have the chronic stress. Now, chronic stress is the kind of stress that takes a while, takes a long period of time. It is not going away. Every other day you wake up to this thing and it causes you to be in that constant state of worry for over a period of time. And that is often caused again by maybe sickness of a loved one. If your mom is in hospital, hospitalized, if your partner is hospitalized, if your child is hospitalized, you'll definitely have stress going on. For the period of time, they'll probably be in hospital because it's going to drain you financially, it's going to drain you mentally and emotionally. So that is going to drag on for a certain period of time. If you're going through a relationship issue, say marriage, separation, or divorce, that's also another cause for acute stress. So you may experience acute stress because of a bad relationship, a relationship gone wrong, and all these kind of things. Then the other thing that can cause you chronic stress is job dissatisfaction. If at your workplace you're not happy about where you're working, you probably have politics going on, office politics going on, and it's not changing, and yet you need that job. You don't want to leave. You need to survive. Sometimes you may just bear and stay in there, but yet it is causing you stress and all that. So those are the different types of stress that we experience as people.
Okay, so when you're going through a stressful period, what are some of the ways that helped you get through that time? What is it that you did? What is it that you didn't do to get you out of a stressful moment?
I'll go first and say that many times we're told that when you're stressed out, exercise, eat well, sleep, and all. But I want to bring it down to the bit where, because you've asked for solutions, I want to bring it down to a bit where you know that you're stressed in that very moment. Probably you've just received a call telling you someone has done that, this and that. So what do you do in that immediate situation?
Yes.
So in the immediate situation, when someone has just probably delivered some bad news, or you've applied for a job and you've not got it, or you've probably a business deal gone wrong and all. For me personally, I've learned that deep breathing helps me calm down.
Okay.
It really helps to calm down my system.
Can you show us?
It helps me calm down my system. It helps me engage my body and then focus my thoughts on certain things. So one of the things I do is deep breathing. But since I deal in essential oils, I learned that essential oils are also very therapeutic for people with stress. So I personally do move with my oil. I have a bottle here where I mixed 2 types of oil, essential oils, diluted them with some base oil. And so every time I'm stressed out and I know that I just want to get quick relief, all I do is rub it onto my hands and inhale. So when I breathe it in, it calms me down because I know I love this scent. It calms me down personally. The other thing that you can do as a quick fix for stress, people usually love to listen to music. Listening to music is good. I also love music, so that may be something that I may do. The other thing I do personally is now take walks. Once I'm stressed, most probably I'm at office, I'll take the stairs down, I'll take a lift out of the building and just take a walk to the gates, come back to my office. I'll feel better. The other thing I've learned to do immediately is take naps. The minute I get bad news and I'm in a place where I can take a nap, trust me, if I'm in a car, I'll pull up my windows, be in the parking and sleep. And somehow my body now knows that I take naps for 30 minutes and in 30 minutes I'll be up. If I'm on my desk in my office, I'll take a nap still for 30 minutes and I'll be up and ready to run again. So I found those to help me calm down in the moment that stress hits and I just need a quick fix. So the other methods of exercise is very important, definitely. Exercise is also a thing that causes the body to be stressed out, but it gives it a good stress. So when you put your body into exercise mode, it helps you to build resilience against bigger things and bigger stresses that can come in your life because you're already used to stressing your body in a certain way. It won't hit your body so badly. Nutrition is very important. How you eat. When we're stressed out, our bodies are deprived of certain minerals and proteins and whatever else. Those nutrients that are important, we're usually deprived of them, vitamins, minerals, and all that kind of thing. So it is important to keep the nutrition going well so that when you're faced with stress, you're not quickly depleted of those minerals and vitamins. The other thing that is important when you're stressed out is to sleep. Get a good night's sleep. Resting and sleeping helps to put the body in a repair mode. While you're resting, the brain cells repair, rejuvenate, and can be able to carry you through the next day. But oftentimes when we're stressed out, unfortunately, also the sleep can disappear. But there are remedies to that. There are really so many remedies now. There are the essential oils that you can use to help you sleep, and you can put in your tea to calm down your system and all that kind of thing. So sleep is important. It also helps you to increase your body's immunity and all. So those are the holistic approaches that you can use. The other ones are quick fixes in the moment that you are stressed. But over time, you need to build routines and a lifestyle around these lifestyle things that I've said, like having a good meals and nutrition, then having good sleep, and then exercising. The other practice that I found very important is journaling. Yes, I'm practicing gratitude. For me, that has worked. I don't know how many gratitude journals I have, but I have them that every time I look back into them, it reminds me of God's faithfulness, that you've been through something that you had before. You're definitely going to go through this as well, right? So for me, practicing gratitude has helped me go through these phases. Journaling, yes, has helped me go through these phases. Then the most important thing is praying. I can't emphasize this enough. God is our maker. He knows what is within us. He's the potter, we are the clay. So it is important to always go back to the source and pour yourself out. And it is said in the Bible, it is quoted in the Bible that Jesus said that you will have trials and tribulations in this world, but I have overcome the world. So it is important to go back to the source, which is God and the Bible, to remind yourself of these things. For me, they still carry me through. I remember that I was made in the image of God. I am the likeness of God. God fights for me. He has promised me that He will fight for me and all that. So for me, it is those things that really, really, really take me through all the stressful moments. And I realize that it is important to be intentional about them. We talk about these things and they stop on paper. But if you carry them with you intentionally, when I was going through my recovery period, that's what I did. I was very intentional about sleep. I was very intentional about eating. I was very intentional about exercising. And it carried me through those 9 months until I recovered.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. Because I read somewhere, I don't remember where it was, but I read somewhere that what you don't express in life
Yes.
comes out as dysfunction or disease. And I think the article went on to say that I don't grow a tumor. I don't grow a tumor. I just, I don't get angry. I just grow a tumor. Meaning that what I don't put out, if I don't express my feelings, if I don't express how I'm feeling, then I will not, I'm going to get sick. I'm going to get illnesses. Yes. So Flavia, what can you tell the people out there that are not taking the whole stress thing serious, saying that maybe it's a white man's thing, or you don't need to take, you just go to church. Our forefathers did not know about stress. The skeptics out there, what do you tell them about the whole stress lies at her?
Well, one thing I've realized is that it is important to learn how to manage stress. Stress manifests in our bodies in so many ways. And these are ugly ways in which it manifests. It manifests in diseases. So you'll have the headaches constantly, you'll have the migraines constantly, you'll lack sleep, your body immunity will go down, and you'll get the chronic illnesses that we've had of the autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, the lupus, and all that kind of thing. So I have also come to learn that it is important to manage stress. As fate would have it, we've treated my mother for over 15 years of rheumatoid arthritis. But this is something that we've just come to learn about, that it was caused by stress. And I remember one time engaging her, telling her, "Mommy, I think you got this thing during this time while you were stressed." And she's like, "Yes, that is the time I started feeling like this and going to hospital over this thing." So I've learned that what we keep in, the emotions we keep in, the stress we keep in, If we don't express them, if we don't express our emotions, if we don't express our anger, if we don't express our worries, if we don't let anxiety go, it affects our bodily systems.
Yeah.
It really does affect. So it is important to remember to learn how to manage stress and let it out.
Yeah.
Find ways of releasing the stress so that it doesn't eat you up. Otherwise, the blood pressures we're hearing about, it is all stress. The heart attacks, the cardiac arrests. There's too much.
Yeah.
There's too much. So we need to find ways of releasing and making sure that we're not damaging ourselves, but rather helping ourselves live longer and better.
So Flavia, what is the biggest weapon against stress that is facing us as humanity?
So the greatest weapon we have against stress as humanity is our minds. You know, our minds are such a powerful thing to nurture. You know, whatever we feed into our minds manifests. Whatever we think about manifests. We control the surroundings, some of the things that happen to us, just using our minds. And I found that to be very true for stress as well. So personally, when I'm faced with a stressful situation, the first thing I ask myself is, are you going to let it stress you? Or are you going to act better so that it doesn't get to you? And I always tell myself, don't let it get to you. My mind is the greatest weapon I found about stress. So your mindset will definitely help you fight stress well. All stress will fight you. When you realize that a lot of things will stress us, and you also need to realize what you can control and what you can't control. So in your mind, you feed yourself and tell yourself that if I'm faced with this, is there anything I can control about it? Nothing. I'll pull back and say, I'll take that to the Lord in prayer. If there's something I can control about it, I'll pull the string that I need to pull and do that. But I found that my mind is the greatest weapon against stress. When I tell myself that I won't let that stress me, my dear, it is not going to stress me. I'll look at it for what it is, acknowledge that it has happened. I won't deny it. I won't go into denial. But then I'll say, I can only give you as much power as I want to. So I won't give you power to affect me. And that has helped me a lot. So I always put my things in those two categories. Will I allow it to affect me, or will I not allow it to affect me? Can I control it, or can't I control it? What I can control, I do. What I cannot, I can't. I leave it out. With my mind, I have managed to fight off a lot of stress like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a box here. What's in the box?
Well, when I started the journey of oil therapy, I found a lot of amazing things about essential oils. So oil therapy is one of the businesses that I'm doing, and we happen to sell essential oils. But as a person who has been super stressed out, one of the things that I used to do, I remember in my first year of business, was I used to have spa days. And then I discovered that these essential oils are the oils that I used in spas to relax and calm down people who are stressed, who are facing pain, who just want to feel good. So yes, these are essential oils that you can use when you're stressed out, and they come in different flavors and sizes. And for your box breathing techniques, if you're stressed out, like we've said, box breathing, deep breathing is very important. You can just get an essential oil, like I've done, put it in a roller bottle like this, and when you're stressed out, you inhale it. It helps to calm the system down. The other thing I do with these oils is that I shower with them. Put a few drops in my water, bath water, warm water, and shower. The other thing I do is put a drop in tea. Last year I was very stressed out, and I remember using lavender in my teas. When my parents are sick, when my mom is sick with cough and flu, we always give her some eucalyptus oil, and it has always helped her to be relieved. So these are essential oils that are available at oil therapy that you can also use through your stressful moments. Create a spa experience for yourself at home, boost your immunity with them, improve sleep, boost your mood, and all those nice things. So yeah.
So where can they find these?
We are located at Tenana Building, Buganda Road. Our shop is at Tenana Building, Buganda Road. And our website is also up. So you can order online. But also, the contact, I'll be sharing them in the comments below.
So thank you, Flavia, for this knowledge that you've given us. And we hope that so many of our viewers will definitely reach out to you. Thank you for joining us on this episode. And Flavia, thank you for the knowledge that you've given us. We hope that you'll use this in your day-to-day life. Subscribe to our YouTube, to our Instagram, and TikTok. And we can't wait to see you in the next episode.